Hi people! Welcome back, how are you all? Personally, I have had a hectic as hell kind of week, and I know I say that nearly every video, but this time I really mean it. As some of you may know, I got back from my holiday last Saturday. It was lovely, the sun was shining, and I actually tanned a tiny bit, which is super rare for me, by the way. But unfortunately, I also spent the first week on and off trying to sort out a couple of issues with my art school application. Luckily, they're all resolved, but it meant I was late on hearing about a pre-uni project they wanted us to all complete, so I finished last week's video, started working on that, then I came home, obviously, which meant work was starting again. I have a job, for those of you who don't know. It's hectic, but hey, I can now afford my train tickets. Anywho, my boss had scheduled me in 4 days this week, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, and then also asked if I might be free to pick up some extra shifts this weekend, and so I was like, cool, this is fine, totally coping. Went to work my 2 days, and then on Wednesday I worked on my school project and started this here speed paint that you are watching. 2 more days of work brings me to here, where if all has gone well, and I was not given a shift on Saturday, and used this morning to finish the speed paint and record this here audio, edit and upload the video. If all has not gone well, then it's Sunday and I apologise for being late, but I did try. All this brings me to one very important point. I am not going to be able to keep it up at this rate. Next week, uni begins, and I'll be in classes 4 days a week, plus 1 day of independent work, plus I promise my boss I'll still do 2 days at the weekend, in the shop if I can. Therefore, creating a whole new piece of personal art every single week is probably going to be what breaks me. And as such, I'm going to be slowing my upload schedule down just a little bit, hopefully to fortnightly videos, so once every other week. I don't yet know exactly how much work school will be. I've not done art school in a really long time, and whether or not I can just make content from the stuff I'm doing at school. I expect I'll still post most weeks on Instagram because traditional work is much easier to just photograph to upload to Instagram than to record a whole video on, because I don't have a proper camera, I use my iPhone for everything. But as for videos, cuts are kinda gonna have to be made. Hopefully the 7 of you who watch regularly won't mind too much. The other thing is that because I will now be working at my job exclusively on the weekends, Saturday is becoming a bit of an inconvenient day to post things. I know you can schedule videos and such, but I often run close to my deadlines anyway, so I'd like to just be a little bit more around on the days I'm posting. And as such, I was wondering if any of you have a day you would prefer me to upload. What is more convenient to you? Please comment below, because if not, I'm just going to have to look at which day my Instagram followers are more active and go with that, which doesn't even make sense because it's YouTube and Instagram are not the same thing. If all goes well, my next video should be out in about 2 and a bit weeks once I've picked a day to upload, and I'll hopefully be talking about what my experience was with my first week of art school and all that stuff. Although I do believe I've been asked to work 3 days that weekend, i.e. Friday, Saturday and Sunday, so it may be more like 3 weeks to the next video, but once I'm settled, I definitely planning for fortnightly videos, and will keep you updated as to how I'm coping with the workload and whether I can actually keep that up either. So anyway, let's talk about this actual speed paint. Because I didn't have masses of time, I wanted to draw something that would require very little brain power. I briefly considered doing a cute little draw this in your style I came across, but couldn't work out composition, and so defaulted to fan art instead. Because my Instagram feed is full of fan art, I'm constantly inspired to draw bits for different fandoms, so it's just nice and easy, I had plenty of ideas. And so I held a poll on my Instagram for whether you would all prefer to see Ineffable Husbands or Janto, and started sketching a cute little pose which I figured could work for either. I decided that if Janto had won, Janto could sit where I've drawn Aziraphale holding some reports and like a coffee cup instead of a book, and Jack could be all curled up next to him with his greatcoat draped across them. But Ineffable Husbands won eventually, and so that's what I drew. Honestly, I was massively inspired by the work of an awesome Instagram artist, Jick Draws, I'll put the link in the description, who does all of these like super soft paintings of these two in all like orange and red tones, and it's so beautiful and like cozy looking, and I want to try and emulate that a bit, hence the window being the only source of light in the room. You know that feeling of, well, the world is moving on out there, but it doesn't matter because it's just so warm and cozy in here, so who cares, we're in our own little world. That's kind of what I was going for. I also tried something a little bit different with the line art on this one, or should I say something a little bit old, because I used to do this on all my drawings ages ago, and that is completely coloured line art. I drew each section on different layers so that I could colour them more easily once that section had been shaded, and I'm really pleased with it, particularly with Crowley's hair. I put some variation in the colour of the lines and I just think it looks real cute. Aziraphale's hair though is, as usual, kind of less good. Short hair is just so confusing to me. I will get there one day, maybe. Hopefully. We'll see. Something I was reminded of doing this piece was actually that drawing flannel or tartan isn't quite as bad as I sometimes make it out to be. It's still a bit fiddly and it takes a couple of layers, but it's not that hard. Personally, I do it by drawing each set of stripes on a different layer and then lowering the opacities to get little intersections darker. But if you want a more saturated design, I suppose you could draw the intersections by hand, or maybe use some clever kind of selection tool. Clever use of the selection tool where you go around the different layers. I might actually try that now that I've thought of it. I think I do greatly prefer this piece to the Last Good Omens one I did, just because I was able to get it more stylised than I managed last time. Particularly Aziraphale's face, I'm super happy with, and proud because honestly I don't usually manage to draw that diverse a set of different head shapes, body shapes. All my people kind of look a bit the same. We've got a bad case of same face syndrome going on. With my comic characters I did try to get different heights and therefore different body types going on, but I still kind of have to constantly remind myself to draw them different. So I'm really proud of that this actually looks good, because this is something I need practice with, and I really like the way Aziraphale's face looks, and it looks like him, I think. Crowley's face probably wasn't as good. You may have seen me drawing about a million times during the sketching phase, and because his eyes closed, I didn't get a chance to draw his fabulous glowy snake eyes. But that said, I do think he looks real cute all curled up and asleep and just like smiling, and yeah. The final thing I want to quickly mention is that the cute little plant is not super obvious, but I imagine the room that they're in to be like Aziraphale's bookshop, and I just love the idea of having adopted one of like Crowley's little plants and like Crowley being unable to yell at it. I think I've seen this on Instagram actually somewhere, someone else had this headcanon. But the concept of Crowley not being able to yell at the plant because it's Aziraphale's plant, and he just loves him and it's adorable. So anyway, hope you all enjoyed this video. Sorry I won't be around as much for a while, but I will try be as active as I can, just like in my Discord server or just like on Instagram stories and things that don't take as much time. If you all have any questions you want answering about art foundations, obviously comment below and I'll discuss them all in the next video. And as always, I'm open to suggestions for what I should draw next. Hopefully you all have a lovely weekend and maybe subscribe if you haven't. I'll see you all soon. Bye!